Hello, welcome to the video. Today we are comparing the Rolex Pepsi against the Rolex Coke, and we're also comparing modern, aka the Pepsi, versus vintage. Not massively vintage, I think this is 2005, but it does have a very different look. This is the Pepsi 126710 BLRO, and here we have the Coke 16710. My first thought when I look at these watches is I see this watch, the Pepsi, a lot more than I see the Coke. Very rarely, and it might just be me, only on a couple of occasions have I seen someone wearing a Coke, but I've seen the Pepsi a lot more. And this is the Pepsi, it is the hottest GMT, and the reason why I can say that with confidence is because of all the GMTs, this is the one that has the highest resale value, so it sort of suggests supply and demand are of such that it's the one that's hardest to get and most sought after, hence why it fetches such a aftermarket price. The Coke, on the other hand, they don't make it anymore. They stopped making it obviously in 2009. It still trades. I had a look online. Obviously, when a watch is this old, I think this one is 20 years old. So a lot depends on condition. This watch here definitely had some love. It's not been put in a safe and kept out of harm's way. This has been someone's daily watch for a long time. Got a lot of love. But even the lowest end of the market, they'll fetch $12,000. And if it's a really good condition one, it could be over $20,000. The person who bought this would have paid maybe like $5,000, even less, maybe $4,500 for it. So they've done pretty well. Now, it's interesting because this year at Watches and Wonders, a lot of people thought Rolex were going to re-release the Coke, but they didn't. We don't yet have this model in newer ceramic bezel. This is aluminium. This is how all the GMTs were before they started doing the ceramic. Some people love the aluminium bezel because it can fade in the sun, and some people really like that rustic fade patina that you get when it's been in the sun. However, with the ceramic bezel, you don't get that. They only started making the Pepsi in 2018. My understanding is it took them quite a while to be able to get the blue and the red together without messing up the colours. Apparently in ceramic it was quite tricky to do, but it's something that they figured out. This was released 2018. When I see someone wearing a Pepsi, I do think, oh, cool. Oh, wow, they got a Pepsi. How did they get that? Did they get it from an AD or not? And did they pay over the odds for it to get it? You know, if they've got a Pepsi, they've either got a good relationship with an AD or they've paid almost double what the watch cost. When I see someone with a Coke, I think, wow, that's cool. Because I think I see them so rarely, and I think it's that sort of retro vintage vibe. It's just like pretty cool. I almost think someone who wears a Coke gets a little bit more kudos than someone wearing the Pepsi. Now, the Coke has a 48-hour power reserve and the Pepsi has a 70-hour power reserve. Both are actually waterproof up to 100 meters. I do enjoy the longer power reserve just because if you don't wear your watch for as long, it's less likely that you're going to have to reset it, but it's some minor inconvenience if you do. And both watches are 40mm, which is for me the perfect size. 40-41 is the perfect size. However, for me personally, it's just the build quality of the newer Rolex is so much better. The metal that they're using, so much stronger technology ways, and it's just a much more robust watch. With the older Coke, you know, the clasp just not as good. You don't get that really nice click, obviously, with time and wear. Also don't like how small the clasp is here. It's really little and doesn't feel as quality. They've got the stamped Rolex logo here, and for me that is, I do like the quality feel of the Pepsi. I think if I was to do Rolex Coke, I don't own one, it'd have to be in very good condition because it would annoy me if it wasn't. What do you guys think? Would you rather have the modern Pepsi, which sells for $12,000 off the Rolex website, but if you're buying it secondhand, you're paying like $21,000, whereas this one cheapest you can get is about 13,000 on Chrono 24. And it goes into the 20s if it's really good condition with all the box and papers. But yeah, Coke or Pepsi, which one do you prefer? Or would you prefer the Pepsi in a vintage model, which they also do? You know, over the years, Rolex is always tweaking and improving its models. And some people like the changes, some people don't. But generally, I think Rolex get it right. You know, they find ways to just keep improving, keep innovating. And that's why they're the #1 watchmaker. They just are relentless at always fine-tuning and improving their models. You know, although we still have lots of love for the older models, the newer models really are a step in the right direction in terms of just the quality. This is why Rolex are the best. Both of these watches are for sale. If you're interested, feel free to send me a direct message to my Instagram here, and I'll happily answer any questions that you have. Like and subscribe. We're going to be doing more watch videos. Also, feel free to check out my Instagram. On there, you'll see that I currently have a Tudor Pelagos blue dial for sale. If you're interested, feel free to send me a message. That's all for the video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.